Welcome everybody to my first official Rivals 2 video. So today I want to talk about something really simple slash basic, but I think can help a lot of people's game plan. The way it's helped mine, like it's been tough implementing this into my actual games themselves, but when I do think to use it, it has been very powerful. And what I'm talking about is using the walk mod button, I guess you can say. So like, I have dash on as a default, dashing is what we do a lot in this game, but I thought, because I tried using the walk as a default option. Wasn't good because we dash so much in this game. But sometimes, like, say you're edge guarding someone, you want to maybe like reposition yourself. Like, this is like very tough to work with, and walking can be a little bit easier, like just kind of going from point A to point B. Even like wave dashing doesn't always get you exactly where you want to go, and baby dashing doesn't always get you exactly where you want to go. So I think that just having a walk, I'm sorry, I keep hitting my strong. I've recently switched my strong and my walk button, so I may have a couple misinputs. Hey guys, post-production AA here. I wanted to mention specifically the reason why I am doing this. It's because I find walking to be very inherently difficult in this game. Now, I will admit, I did put my stick sensitivity as high as it can go. And I did try a various number of stick sensitivities. But the reason why I went as high as I go is because it makes baby dashing very easy. And I found walking to be difficult even at a very low stick sensitivity. So I find this walk modifier thing to be beneficial no matter what stick sense you use. I currently am at the highest stick sense and at the lowest dead zone possible. So please consider all of that. Hopefully you guys can see my inputs. I have them going at the bottom here. So RT is my walk button, and RB is my strong. So the first thing, and really the biggest thing that I like about walking, is that it helps me simulate I guess we just call it a pivot in this game, but it reminds me of a perfect pivot from Smash 4. Which would be where you would input 2 frames to one direction, 2 frames to the opposite direction, and then let your stick reset to neutral. And then you would kind of slide in that first direction a little bit while your stick, reset to neutral. You would face the opposite direction. It looked something like this. Sorry. It looked something like this, but you would slide a little bit afterward, in the initial direction that you came. And these pivots that we are using help us quite a bit because we play, a lot of characters in this game. We play mostly Clarin right now, but we do play some Reno, and I kind of do want to learn like the whole cast, for lack of better terms, but I've been really enjoying this pivot kind of technique with Clarin because it allows you to do things like, pivot jab, and you can also do pivot like down tilt, pivot up tilt, which is great for so you want to cover the platform. This is the easiest way because right here isn't going to cover the left side, right here isn't going to cover the right side, and that right there is a dash attack. So is that. That's what happens if you don't let go of the stick in time. So if you guys are getting dash attack, this is a good time to talk about that little segue. If you notice that during this whole process you're getting dash attack, watch my left stick. It's because I'm not letting my left stick reset to neutral in time, even though I'm hitting the walk mod. So you can hit the walk mod and hold it the whole time, but as soon as you turn around, you stop running. So that's basically how the walk mod works with sprinting. But as soon as you let go, once your stick resets to neutral, you can immediately input your next move. Whereas watch me without the walk mod. Watch my left stick, and this is so important. I'm going to let my left stick reset to neutral, but I'm not going to get a tilt. I'm going to get a dash attack if I'm not slow enough. If I'm too quick, I'm going to still get dash attack. So watch this. That's a dash attack. That's a dash attack. That's a dash attack. Every time my stick was in neutral. Every single time. Go back and watch the replay. Maybe even slow the video down to 0.5x, 0.25x if you guys are having trouble seeing that. But that's why I made my little, part down there magnified so you guys could see my inputs a little bit easier. So just peep that. But right here, sorry, messed it up. Neutral, input, neutral, input, neutral, input, immediately. That last time when I got the dash attack is because I didn't stop hitting the stick and I didn't actually get to neutral. Instead of letting the stick go to neutral, I push it too far in the opposite direction. That's what happens when that's what this is. This is me pushing the stick too far in the opposite direction. Whereas this is, for lack of better terms, let's call it a perfect pivot, That's when you pivot perfectly. But no, we're just going to call it pivots in this game. That's fine. Because you don't get the little slide back, but I still like calling it perfect pivot. Because it reminds me of my Smash 4 days. And right now, I'm having a little bit of trouble doing it consistently, but I feel like that's because I'm talking and doing it, where normally I feel like when I'm in game and I'm kind of just focusing, I can do it a lot more consistently. When I stop and focus, here, give me a second. It's a lot easier to only use one set of muscles, my hands, and not my hands and my mouth at the exact same time. So believe me, like, this is a very easy to do thing, and it's much easier than any other way of, like, moving and trying to stop your stick, like try to reset your stick to neutral. It's just faster. It's absolutely faster, and it's absolutely easier. So that is reason number 1 to use the walk modifier. Reason number 2 is going to be, this is the easiest way that I've found to grab the ledges. Normally, to grab a ledge, from what I've heard, the easiest way is to run at it, turn back, and to wave dash into it. So like something like that. That's very complex, man. Like, I don't want to do that every time. Like, I don't want to have to just like turn around and slide wave dash. And like, that's a lot. That's a lot. And like, sometimes you mess up the jump, yada yada. Like, mess up, like, jumping by accident, or you mess up the directions. Like, that's a lot. My way is easier. All you do is you run towards the ledge, and like I said, you can input the walk mod at any point in time. So you can dash and immediately input walk, or you can wait to the very end. You can do it in the middle. You can input walk whenever is convenient and most comfortable for you. That doesn't matter. But the main thing is you want to let go of your dash / turn around right near the ledge and let go of the walk. I believe. Cause I've kind of just gotten the muscle memory down. Let go of both, and you kind of retain. Because if you hold the walk, you stop. That's the perfect pivot. So you have to let go of the walk. Sorry, I had to remind myself because I've just gotten so used to doing it that I forgot what the actual muscle memory input was. So when you hold the walk button, you get the pivot. But if you let go of the walk button, then you get, that's like the old school perfect pivot low-key. Like, is when you slide backwards. Like, that's a perfect pivot. So you really want to do an old school perfect pivot into the ledge, which it sounds like it's complex, but it's really not. You're dashing, turning back, and letting go of both. So let's try to do that right now. See, I didn't slide quite far enough. You want to let go like right when you're about to get off the ledge, and every character is different too. So like when I do this with Rano, for instance, I get to let go a little bit less. I have like a little bit wider of a window because he's a little more slippery. He slides a little more. Whereas Clarin, or I think say maybe a character like Lox, probably can't slide quite as far. So you want to just let go right when you're at the ledge, and you'll slide right off. And just like doing the pivots, this is easier when you're not explaining it in a YouTube video. So trust me, it is the easiest way that I've found to grab the ledge. And of course, this is a good way to, like, say someone is going to be recovering, and you want to grab the ledge, use your invincibility against them. Like, that is the best way from what I've found consistently to grab the ledge. Let go both, and you got it. Now, you want to practice both directions because for me, in traditional platform fighting instances, and I'm sure regular fighting games are the same way, doing something to the left may not be the same muscle memory as doing it to the right. So you want to make sure that you practice both sides when you do something like this, so that you can kind of have it like on deck. So that is reason number 2 that you want to use the walk modification. Reason number 3 and 4 are both going to relate to platforms. So one neat little trick like that we can do on platforms is, well, let me just say, normally, like, this game is great about letting you just get off of platforms, like either run off or just drop through, where a game like Smash Ultimate has notoriously, as we say in the community, sticky platforms. Like the platforms you push down and you would think that you're going to get through, but you really crouch on it and you don't actually get through it. In this game, you have very easy, very slippery platforms, very easy to get through. Say you don't want to get through the platform though. Say you want to stay on the platform and do a crouch cancel. Say you have an opponent who's under you, and I want to do something like this. I want to do a crouch cancel down smash. Normally you would hit down and strong. But oh wait, I just dropped through the platform because it's so, easy. And if you just do normally down and smash, that's not a crouch cancel. You want to crouch cancel someone's hit and then do it. And normally that's very difficult, unless of course when you press crouch, you're holding the walk modifier. And when you're holding the walk modifier, you actually can't drop down through the platform at all, like physically. Like even if you slam it, like like you cannot actually drop. So what this allows you to do is hold down on a platform with walk modifier. You don't have to hold it anymore. You only have to press it when you are actually inputting the crouch, then you are free to let go, but do hold down still. That's how you hold and, of course, activate your crouch cancel. And then once you are hit, hopefully you tank the hit down smash, hit your opponent. This, of course, works better on people who have, or characters, I should say, that have down smashes that hit from both directions on the same time, and ones that have hitboxes that hit below. So let's see if we can just like watch it quickly ourselves, just to see, for Clarin's sake, if we have a strong that would hit. Doesn't look like it'll hit below too much, but for someone like Rano, this is a very strong tech. So tech number 3 is you can crouch cancel on platforms easily into down smash, into down tilt, into maybe like a combo starter, into just anything. So that is tip number 3. Tip number 4 is also going to involve platforms. It's going to involve shield shield dropping. If you guys don't know what shield dropping is, it's when you're on your platform and you want to drop your shield down. You want to drop through the platform without releasing your shield. So while pressing shield, you drop right down. Sorry guys, I just realized that I had my inputs turned off for like a little bit there. So apologies, quick technical difficulty, but hopefully you still get the gist of what I just did. And if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments, please. Also consider liking while you're down there. But normally when you're shield dropping, hold shield, you have the main way that people will shield drop is you want to press down and diagonal left or diagonal right. If you press just straight down, you get a spot dodge. So people will shield drop by pressing diagonal down, right? Sorry, diagonal down and right. Diagonal down. See, I'm not even very good. I'm not even good at doing it. Diagonal down and right. There you go. Took me like 5 tries to do it. I don't like having to learn the skill of the perfect 45-degree diagonal. So what I do is when I'm in my shield, is I hold the walk mod and I just press down and it lets me drop through immediately. Just like before when we're not holding shield. The walk mod behaves the exact same. No, I'm sorry. It behaves the exact opposite way. As soon as you hold your shield, so like you can do what we were doing before. I'm on the platform, I'm holding walk mod, and I cannot drop through at all. But as soon as I tap shield, I go through immediately, like without my shield even coming up. So that just shows the walk mod will make you always shield drop. So here, let's do it the opposite way. Holding shield, press walk mod, drop down seamlessly. And then you can do things like this. Forward air, or drop down into down air, or better yet, we drop down into up air. But honestly, when you do that, you fast fall automatically. So you really can only get the forward air or the back air off. Normally, your other moves don't have time to get off because you're fast falling them. But you can fast fall a forward air and a back air and still get that off with most characters in this game. So that's a very powerful thing. You can consistently 100% of the time shield drop, and that is only able to be done with the walk mod. Would highly recommend it. That is reason number 4 to use the walk modifier. And reason number 5 is honestly kind of related to like the first reason, but it's a little bit more advanced / the next step. So we were kind of, say our opponent is right here, at the ledge, and we want to reposition ourselves. That's when we would use a tilt, like, I'm sorry, a pivot. That's when we use a pivot and a tilt, like a pivot into tilt, or pivot into jab, or pivot into whatever your option is, pivot into F tilt, pivot into up tilt, pivot into down tilt, pivot into whatever you want. But for me, I think it's also very nice to be able to use this going at someone. So normally, if you're going to, this is not a game like, say, NASB, which is Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. In that game, if you run and push the tilt stick upwards, because I'm using tilt stick, you would cancel your dash and you would do an up tilt. It's a great mechanic and it works awesome. We don't have that in this game, unfortunately. In this game, we have to wait out the dash attack when you're using tilt stick. Unless, of course, you're using the walk modifier and you let your stick on the left, your left stick, your control stick, reset itself to neutral. Whenever I say the stick, I mean my left stick. And I will always say, my attack stick or my right stick, for the right stick. But when you let your stick reset to neutral and you have the walk modifier held, as before, you do not have to have that little period of time to input a tilt. You can do it immediately. See, like those last ones were baby dashes. Those don't actually count. This is what it is, because you'll slide a little bit after. And that's really why I included this as tip number 5 and like its own separate tip, is because like we're right here. We're gonna go dash, walk, let go, and then input up tilt. Dash, walk, let go, input up tilt. Dash, walk, let go, input up tilt. And if we're quick, the very second that, for me, what I do is like I listen to the sound of my stick going back to neutral. That's why it's easy for me to do this when I'm not talking, because I can hear my controller. Like the controller to me, like in a game like this, has always been akin to a musical instrument, honestly, because like when you play at a certain tempo, a certain beat, a certain rhythm, it sounds beautiful to hear smashers play. You'll hear like click, 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 and it just sounds very, very good. Especially the triggers on a GameCube controller like have a specific kind of tone, and then the sticks have a specific tone, and then certain controllers have certain tones with the left stick and the right stick. So like you can have 2 players playing and they can sound completely different, almost like they're playing in a band. It really does sound crazy. So that is what I go for. If you guys are looking for like, man, I don't know when my stick is resetting to neutral because I'm like, not looking at the bottom part of my screen. I'm not looking at my controller. Use the audio. Use the sound of your stick resetting to know when you can input your tilt. And guys, now here's where a lot of YouTubers kind of like leave you off, and it's like, all right, here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna want to do all that, and good luck and have fun. But I actually am gonna take this one step further, and this video is gonna get a little bit longer because of it. And if you want to end here, and go play with it, this is your time. Like, this is all the information that I really have for you. But what I'm gonna show you all now is how to implement this technique. Not only how to do it and everything, but how to do it against, we're gonna do it against a CPU at level 9 which is the hardest difficulty. And then we're going to do it against an online player. And we're going to show you like the times when I'll like mention it. Okay, they're at the ledge here. Let's try some pivots, or this or that. And I feel like that is the best way to progress. When you're trying to learn moves in this game, you're trying to learn new tech, there's 4 stages of learning that I like to go through. Just do it, okay? Get into the training room by yourself and do it. And then it depends on if you want to hit, if it's a combo where you hit your opponent or not. For this, I can't really use a training dummy because like I'm not going to be hitting them. They're not going to be coming towards me at all. So to do it on a stationary training dummy will not do anything for me. But say I wanted to practice a combo like down tilt to up smash. I would do that on a dummy that's not moving whatsoever. I just put the CPU on dummy mode. It doesn't move whatsoever. But I'm going to just jump straight ahead to CPU level 9 because when a CPU is trying to kill you, for lack of better terms, that is when you have to use your brain to, start implementing like, okay, like this, it simulates a real game and it simulates it very well in my opinion. I mean, of course a CPU can do things like read your inputs and it's not exactly fair, but I find this to be a, right there we start off with a pivot. Like we're gonna just like focus on doing pivots right now and try and like reposition ourselves in places where pivots will help. But like for the most part, like I'm gonna play like normally and then try to pivot, because if we only do pivots, then it doesn't really simulate playing a real person. But if we do like play them normally, we're just gonna try and body them, and then I'll mention like now's a good time for pivot. Like right here, great time for pivot. I messed it up right there. See, like beautiful pivot, and then I messed up, dashed right through, and got punished for it. All right, but right here we're going to try and set up a pivot. He ran into us, which is the best way to stuff out a pivot. Throw him this way, separate, pivot. We mess up our pivot. That's all good. Get punished for it. All right, throw him off stage. Like once you get someone off stage, great time to go for pivots because you don't want to be right on the ledge. It's very easy to, get hit by someone's up special. We're gonna go for max advantage too, like when we get a pivot, like just to show you guys like what you can get off of it. Like pivot into jab and then go for the grab. Great play. Pivot, jab. Dash attack. I meant to go for F strong there, but I'm relearning tilt stick after using smash stick for about a week just to learn some stuff. I do that a lot in these games. I will use smash stick at times and then I'll use tilt stick just to learn like what's easier, what's like possible with smash stick, and then I'll try to do that with tilt stick. Let's roll back on stage. Pivot into jab. Zetterburn with the fireballs. Messing up our pivots. Messing up our pivots. Be more like right here, like middle of the platform. Pivot jab, pivot jab. Great tilt. But this CPU once again kind of like spams, like so. This is not like a great example of how to play. So let's go play against someone online, and we'll talk about when we're using pivots and when we think it's a good time, and we'll see if we can implement some of the other stuff too. Like sliding tilts. Getting off of platforms, crouch cancel. Like I haven't really done the crouch cancel thing, so let's see if we can do that. And yeah. All right, we met up with an opponent. Let's play a set with them, and then I'm gonna leave you guys off with that. I'm gonna, clip in the best parts of this set, and we'll show you guys when we get some good pivots, good platform cancels. I'm sorry, some shield drops. We'll see if we can do the crouch cancel on platform. Probably not gonna do too much crouch canceling on platforms with Clarin, and yeah, just like it'll be mostly pivots and sliding tilts. And we got a mirror match, the Ditto as we call it. Okay. Normally you, taunt at the beginning of a mirror match, but whatevs. Took their jump somewhere along the way. Alright, well, we need to, actually, get a... Throw him there. Pivot. Up tilt. Grab. Pivot. Jab. Grab. F smash. Grab them because when they up you on stage, they have a lot of landing lag. Alright, shield. Pivot. That time I just rolled. I was just being lazy. Nice combo. Very nice combo by my opponent. Pivot. Pivot tilt. Pivot jab, really. I say pivot tilt, but it's usually pivot jab. Crouching down tilt is always a super strong option because you're on deck, just have to tap A for the down tilt, which is always a strong move. And if you get hit, you're automatically crouch canceling. So crouching down tilt is something that I've been doing since Smash Ultimate. I mean, let me rephrase. I've been doing that since like Melee low-key. But I just didn't know back in the day that I was doing it. I didn't know that crouch canceling was even a thing. That up tilt gives so much stun if you can hit it. Pivot. Woo! Pivot into grab. Let's go. He just ran right in my face, and I was like, this is new. If you can catch someone with it, that little short hop down air will spike someone and put them in a really precarious situation. Down tilt backwards? Okay, whatever. Grab, throw, F tilt, strong, down smash, sorry, down air. Giving him the hands. Uh-oh, giving him the hands. Pivot. Pivot again into jab. If I got the strong there, then I would have gone for, or if I got the tipper, I would have gone for a strong. GG. GG to our opponent. They're probably still learning, but very GG. They left. Not as G of a G. But, that's like, you know, that's it. That's it, you know, like, I feel like that was a good example. I feel like we got a lot of instances right there where we use our pivots. And I don't want to make this too long, because I know this is already going to probably be like a 20-ish minute video. But that is a good example of when you want to use your pivots. I know that they weren't the most experienced player, and I don't really play a ton of ranked, so, you know, like, let me get a little more familiar with ranked before I test that out in there. But, yeah, that's kind of all I have for you guys today. If you have any questions, and, like, I kind of call this, like, the walking mod video, but really, I use it mostly for the pivots or sliding tilts. And the platform stuff is just kind of bonus, and then grabbing the ledge is kind of bonus. But that is it. If you have any questions, please let me know. We're going to be setting up a Rivals 2 Discord, so by the time this video is up, check the description. That may be in there, you know, especially if it's been up for like a week or so. And this is something I've mentioned before, but if anyone is looking for a training partner, if they're looking for someone to hop on Discord with while we play and, you know, have someone kind of teach them the game a little bit, have someone show them the ropes a little bit. We've done this before and plan to do it again, so please let me know if you're looking for any assistance. I would be happy to help anybody out there. We have coached many people in the past. I've only ever charged for coaching in one field of my life, and it isn't platform fighters, so do not worry. I'll be doing this all for free for the time being. But yeah, so definitely hop in on that and try to get, you know, as much knowledge as you can. This is an amazing game, and I really want to spread the knowledge and just the love of playing it with as many people as I can. You know, playing online is super smooth. The rollback is great. The characters are great. There's only 10 characters in the roster right now, so even if you're like me and you're coming into this, you know, kind of a little bit late compared to some of the beta testers, it's not that difficult of a cast to learn. And yeah, that's all I really have to say. So any questions, let me know. Please like if you haven't already, comment all your favorite stuff. You guys know the drill. But yeah, thank you. Love you all, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.